The thing I want to talk about is yes, they got the win. Yes, they're 2-1. Yes, they're in they're tied for first place within the AFC West. But the Denver Broncos are easily, in my eyes, the most disappointing team thus far in the NFL. And I do not say that lightly. This team looks bad. They look really, really, really goddamn bad. And it almost doesn't make sense. Like I was talking earlier about how the Raiders being 0-3 doesn't make sense. This Broncos team, with the quarterback they have, with the weapons they have, with the defense they have, they should not be this bad. And Nathaniel Hackett, I know they're 2-1, but Nathaniel Hackett is looking more and more by the week like a bad hire. And we were talking about like Josh McDaniels is on the hot is on the hot seat a little bit. McDaniels' seat is getting a little warm. We're 3 games in, and Nathaniel Hackett is already getting he's already getting first degree burns on his cheeks right now. This is not good. This team still came in they looked unprepared. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know situations. This team, I don't even remember how many penalties they had this game. They had, I think the last time I saw, like, at one point they had like 9 3-and-outs throughout the game. Like 9 3-and-outs? You have Russell Wilson as your quarterback with Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and Albert O and Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon in the backfield, and you're having 9 3-and-outs? That doesn't compute. That doesn't compute to me. How a team with that, like with the Raiders, it's like, okay, they have all of this talent, but the quarterback situation is sort of iffy. What's the excuse for Denver? They have a future Hall of Fame quarterback. They have excellent receivers. They have excellent running backs. Javonte Williams is a monster. And you have 9 3-and-outs? I know San Francisco's defense is legit. D'Amico Ryans, I would be shocked if he's not a head coach by the end of by next season. I get that. But this team should not have 9 3-and-outs on primetime football in front of the country after the shit show all the shit shows you've had for the first 2 weeks. The debacle in week 1 with the end of the game and not going for it, kicking a 64-yarder with a kicker that's never made a field goal over 62. The fact that they should have lost last week against Houston and playing terrible. They came into this game going 0 for 6 in the red zone. They had not scored a red zone touchdown before this game. Hell, they got into the red zone once, and that was towards the end of the fourth quarter. Their first time in the red zone was with over 5 minutes left in the game. Granted, they finally exorcised their demons and finally punched it in the end zone. But still, it took them nearly 55 minutes of game time for them to get to that point. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. Nathaniel Hackett, I don't know what the hell he does. He's clearly the offensive play caller. That was the whole thing. Like, he's the offensive guy. He's the guy that was the coordinator for Aaron Rodgers getting 2 MVPs over the last 2 seasons. And he looks like he's in over his head. Like, you wouldn't think, going from Aaron Rodgers to Russell Wilson, like 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, that there'd be this much of a drop-off. And, which is weird because, like I said, they should not have won this game. And people might be like, why am I going in like this on the Broncos and not on the 49ers when they were just as bad offensively? Simple. Because the Broncos were not supposed to be a bad offense. They were supposed to be, arguably, an elite offense. Shit. How could you not think that? With Russell Wilson and the receivers they have. How could they not be an elite offense? With the Niners, it's like, all right, you lost your starting quarterback. You replaced him with a guy that you thought was going to be better and then didn't. A guy that you were trying to get rid of in the offseason. So it makes sense why you're not consistent offensively. What's Denver's excuse? What's their excuse? They look lost. They look anemic. They look unprepared. They look like they don't know what the fuck the playbook is. That's how you know it's bad. This team looks so bad that they don't even know. They look like they don't even know what the playbook is. And the fact that they were able to actually score a touchdown and get in the lead late in this game, and you had Russell Wilson in the post game on NBC with a big fucking smile on his face, like all positivity, talking about like, oh, like, yeah, defense played great. This was a great football game and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, my man, did you not see what the hell just happened? I feel any other court, like if Aaron Rodgers walked out of a game like that and it came out with a victory even though the offense played that bad, do you think Aaron Rodgers would be full of positivity? No, he'd be fucking pissed. Like, watching this team and the way this game ended, and Broncos fans are going to be so upset when they hear this, and they're going to think, oh no, when they hear this. This was very Tim Tebow-esque. Like, this was, like, think about it. It makes sense. The team plays like shit through the first 55 minutes of the game, and then the last 5 minutes, all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's play football, and then they go out and win the game. It's like the same thing. It's like the same exact shit it was in 2011. The problem is, when you get Russell Wilson, and you hear all offseason, Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. They're expecting the fucking ride to start. When you go to the score and you get Russell Wilson, you don't expect to come back with Tim Tebow. You don't expect that. So, like, this team gets me so frustrated because I know they shouldn't be like this. They're not supposed to be like this. And I get it, the AFC West has not looked as good as we thought it was going to look. But it's saying something that a team that's tied in first place in that division looks worse than the team that still hasn't won a game yet. That's how you know it's bad. That's how you know it's bad. Watching this offense on Sunday Night Football, really for the first 3 weeks of the season, but watching them on Sunday night was fucking depressing. It was infuriating. It was depressing. If you were there with me on the live stream, I legitimately went through the 5 stages of grief with this team. And I'm not even a Broncos fan, and even I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. This is infuriating. Broncos fans, I don't know how y'all are dealing with this. I mean, you're happy you got the win, but are you really happy? And I was saying, like, I was saying in the live stream that I was hoping to the heavens that the Broncos weren't going to win this game because I was fearing what Russell Wilson was going to say in the end of the game on NBC, in that post-game interview on NBC. And that kind of confirmed my fear a little bit that if they won this game, that they were just going to go to next week and think, oh, we don't have to improve a damn thing. Because we're 2-1, we're tied in first place in the division, we're fine. When clearly, it's not fine. Because guess what? You're going to play against teams that, yeah, they might have great defenses, and San Francisco has a great defense, You might have teams that aren't as good as defensively as San Francisco, but they're going to be better offensively than San Francisco. And this team, I do not think, is equipped to get in a shootout with another team. And that's saying a lot considering who's on this team. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Nathaniel Hackett, I said on the live stream that Nathaniel Hackett is giving me extreme Freddie Kitchens vibes. And that's another thing that Broncos fans don't want to hear, but that's how I feel. This feels like Freddie Kitchens 2.0. And hell, I mean, it's almost the same situation as 2019 Browns, where a team with so much expectations, with so much talent, and they get squandered away because of terrible coaching. And that's what I think is happening right now, and I think that's what it's going to continue to happen unless they find a spark under their ass and realize, oh, all this talent we have on our team, let's actually maximize them. I'm done talking about it because I'm just going to keep rambling. I'm just going to keep ranting about it. But yeah, this team, Denver, get your shit together. Get your shit together. That's all I have to say.